fallout, smoke, women crying for their sons because their sons are not, Romans killing riotous groups that are rising up. Free Judea, free our people, autonomy for Israel. You had Herod, an Edomite, and his dynasty. Herod's ruling, killing any potential threat, any potential Messiah. Then you had the Pharisees and the Sadducees that we learn from Josephus are not Jews by birth. No.
Brothers and sisters, they are there. We are not lost. We are scattered. We are original Hebrew.
Let's go! All praises be to the Most High God. Yeah, I say it.
I was opportune to meet my grandparents, whom from childhood had always made us to understand that we are one of the lost tribes of Israel. One of the lost tribes of Israel. One of the lost tribes of Israel.
Hey, so now we are on our way from Ohafia to Arochukwu. So it's traveling all around.
And this is also an ancient city, the warriors.
Yeah.
They call it the Ephraimite.
Okay.
The Ephraimite.
Let me show you around.
Ephraim Queen. Yes, Ephraim Queen. Yeah.
Ephraim Queen. Yeah.
So they believe.
He said this particular place, they say that they're from the tribe of Ephraim.
Yeah, Ephraimites.
The Ephraim.
And ethnicity is a cult?
What's up, Zion Dynasty? This is your favorite dreaded Israelite, the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. JB Zion. Y'all show me some love, and welcome back to the channel, family. Welcome back to Zion Dynasty, where yours truly, I'm back in the fringed up flesh, about to hit y'all with another banger. All glory, honor, dominion, and power, world without end, to the mighty one of Yaakov, the holy one of Israel, that is the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All glory, honor to the Most High Yah. And family, welcome back to it. This is going to be an exciting lesson, an exciting Shabbat. We got a lot of history to cover. Let me get the banner of Joseph so y'all can already know about Ephraim. Go ahead and get that up, y'all. This is going to be a prophetic journey, a historical journey, a great Shabbat lesson. Also, y'all stay tuned, because we're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to announce one of our winners. And each Shabbat, y'all tune in. We're going to announce a winner each Shabbat that we're going to pick for that round. Working on that link still with Sefer, but we're going to announce that at the end of this lesson, where I'm going to let you guys know who has been the lucky winner of this Shabbat's Sefer giveaway. All glory, honor to the Most High Yah. So what I'm going to do, when we announce that winner, y'all reach out to me via email, right? I am jbzion@gmail.com, so I can get your shipping address and your shipping info. I'm gonna order that thing with Sefer, get that, boom, 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 get that shipped to you, nice with you. I'm gonna have a case with you, case for you, laminated labels for each book. We're gonna do it. Y'all already know how we do. We're gonna do it the right way. It's all about the Most High's word. We gotta get these records to the people. Also, we're working on that African ancestry. Y'all have spoke. We have listened. Me and Shani D. I'm gonna do that as well. A African ancestry giveaway. Also, the Mormon plates. I'm gonna be working on giving away sealed portion books as well. There are PDFs, and I'm working on getting those PDFs to put in the description that you can download. But if you want a physical copy, if y'all are interested, y'all comment. So y'all like this video up, comment, share with as many people as you know. Any people that are struggling with who are we as a people? Are we Moors? Are we Israelites? Are we the Khemit community? Are we a part of the Nation of Islam? Are we Islamic? Are we Arabs? Or just Black Power? Anybody that's struggling with that, I'm gonna try to do a great job in this lesson to unify all the major trains of thought. As y'all can see on my desktop, I'm not sure if y'all can see it very well. I'm doing a screen record, but you see my Ephraimite Moors website I got up. by that organization, by that dear brother. Also, I got the oral tradition of the Yoruba, right? We got that up, talking about them coming from Morocco. All of this is going to connect. The Israelite, the Ephraimites of the Northern Kingdom. Y'all see my Igbo ancestry, 23andMe, right? Y'all see the stick of Joseph, the Book of Mormon. That's my tab with the stick of Ephraim. We're going to deal with Moroni, which I found out from the Honorable Moorish elder doctor. He has a PhD in African studies. So all these sources I'm giving y'all, you can go to the bank with them. We deal with Harvard, we deal with Cambridge, we deal with PhD scholars in these topics, right? Who verifies everything that y'all are going to see also on this easy to follow website that y'all seen me go through, going into the Moors that were part of the native populations. When you look at the Chickasaw, the Cherokee, the Creek, the Seminole, the Choctaw Indians, those being related to Moors, Moroni, Mormon families, right? Of the tribe of Ephraim, or at least the 10 lost tribes that were under Ephraim. So that brother that y'all see down there is the author. Let me see if I can get you, if you guys can see this. His name is Dr. Jose Pimiento. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Pimienta Bay, right? Beautiful brother. Every time you hear him, he just sounds scholastic. He has a PhD in these studies, in history, right? In this book, I'm going to be referring to it. He goes into the same history about the Moors, Mansa Musa. We're going to talk about Mansa Musa heavily in this video. The richest man in world history based on the currencies of that time period to the currencies today, right? That you could probably Google top 10 richest people in human history based on their time period. You're going to run into the Rockefellers. You're going to run into these different people, your Jeff Bezos, and that kind of thing. And basically, Mansa Musa, this Malian, this of the Mali Empire, Mansa Musa was the richest man in history, and he was a Negro family. He was a Negro Moor of the Mali dynasty. We're going to talk about him a little bit, connect him with the Moors. His brother was the one that established a mighty fleet going back and forth between America and Africa, because Morocco owned both of them. Yes, America belonged to so-called black people, so-called Moorish Negroes. It was belonging to our people before Christopher Columbus. We're going to go into that history. I'm going to show y'all some clips of that. So this is going to be action-packed, y'all. If y'all have any history nerds that you think will be interested in this information, we're going to deal with scholarship. We're going to deal with the scriptures. We're going to deal with the Apocrypha, the Book of Mormon, oral tradition, DNA. We're going to jump into it. So first, I'm just going to do a brief, very brief rehash on the oral tradition of 40% of so-called African Americans. Yes, you heard that right. Somewhere between, and I have that Harvard study. If y'all are interested in it, I can put that in the link below, and I can go into that further on tomorrow's lesson, right? But basically, it is estimated by Harvard geneticists that somewhere between 40 to 44%, plus or minus 7% of so-called African Americans belong to the Yoruba people. Another 40% are estimated to be Igbo people, right? Now, the Igbo make up about 40 million people today. Y'all check out that video with the Harry Rosenberg, the Jewish Ashkenazi rabbi that sat down and talked to the Igbo chieftain. Y'all check that video out. But basically, they're 40 million strong. Most so-called African Americans and those that were scattered and those native tribes that were here that share the same DNA, they belong to the Yoruba or the Igbo people, right? So when I go through this oral tradition, family, most of y'all watching, this is in your blood, right? And if you look at the Library of Congress, family, in the Houston Daily Post, I'm gonna try to let you guys see this. It talks about a Negro who could read and write Hebrew. Now it says he is deaf and dumb and comes from an African town in Hartford, Connecticut, September 19. A young African Negro has been in this city for the last few days who claims to be a Hebrew. He is deaf and dumb, right? And I've done my DNA as a courtesy to the family because I understand I am because we are, and we are because I am. The sources, the DNA, the archaeology, right? The My True Ancestry, the GED match that I have done for myself is a reflection of my people. Most of y'all can verify this, and a lot of y'all have already commented that yes, JB, we have done it. I have done my DNA, and everything you're saying is true. It checked out the same way you said it when I did my True Ancestry. When I did my 23andMe, I was E1B1A. It said Yoruba. It said Al-Andalus. It said I was a Moor, right? These DNA tests can even tell you that you are a Moor. And I'm going to go through that briefly. So first, we're going to start with the oral tradition of the Yoruba, right? I've done my African ancestry. I'm going to do a giveaway for that as well. That traced my father's lineage. And it went back to the Benai Ephraim, the Yoruba people, right? Now, when I say it went back to the Yoruba people, you have two major waves of Ephraim, or Israelites. Ephraim was the son of Joseph. Joseph was one of the 12 sons of Jacob. So we're talking about Joseph that was sold into the pit. He had his youngest son named Ephraim. Ephraim became, even though he was the youngest, became the mightiest of all 12 tribes and led the northern kingdom, which were 10 of the 12 tribes. Most of our people come from those 10 tribes because 10 out of 12 is the majority. So most Israelites today, it makes sense, would be under those 10 tribes, which were led by Ephraim. The Yoruba and the Igbo both say that they come from northern kingdom, or so-called lost tribes of Israel. I showed that clip at the beginning of this video, as well as the Ephraimite city that is in Nigeria to this day. Now,
one of the lost tribes of Israel. One of the lost tribes of Israel. One of the lost tribes of Israel.
At the Australian. This is also an ancient city, the warriors.
Yeah.
They call it the Ephraimite.
Okay.
The Ephraimite.
Let me show you around.
They are written, Ephraim Queen. Yes, Ephraim Queen, yeah.
Ephraim Queen, yeah.
So they believe.
He said this particular place, they say that they're from the tribe of Ephraim.
Yeah, Ephraimites.
The Ephraim.
now, so basically, I'm going to show y'all, y'all have seen this, most of y'all that have followed, this is just for people that are tuning in, the oral tradition of the Yoruba. Now, I know a lot of y'all try to, wait, that's what website is that and that kind of thing. This website is Nariland. This is not a primary source. This is just for the ease of the listeners to follow the basic position that the Yoruba claim to hold as Ephraimite descendants. I'm going to show y'all who that's verified with after I go through the basic schematics, right? So, the Iberia is the entire continent of what we will refer to as Spain and Portugal. Portugal is that left slender country, and Spain is the remainder of that peninsula, right? But Iberia is that entire region. So these are Spanish or Black Portuguese Iberian Israelites or Jews of Yoruba nationality. So they're saying these Israelites live among the Yoruba people, and that is not by happenstance. So the Beni Ephraim are the children of Ephraim, Joseph's son that was sold into the pit, are from Nigeria, and they live among the Yoruba, right? Now, family, as we're going to see, and most of y'all know, this is verified by a lot of sources. So many that I can't go through all of them, but I'm going to give y'all a few of them. Primarily for scholarship, the who, what, when, where, and why, the Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia written by the Ashkenazi Jews. I know a lot of y'all don't, y'all feel some type of way about me using these sources that are about so-called white people, European Edomites, or Ashkenazi Jews, right? A lot of y'all don't like that. But let me explain something about scholarship for y'all. If I find 10 books that are written by our people saying we're the chosen people, it could be true, don't get me wrong, but the credibility in terms of making a case that's not biased is gonna be like, we don't know. It sounds like you're trying to say that y'all the chosen people. That's why I not only have sources from our people, Israelite people, but even the Gentiles that have to admit. We see that in Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9, that I will cause those that say that they are Jews and are not to come down and worship at your feet, so that you may know that I have loved thee. This is the word of the Most High Yah. And I give all praise to the Most High Yah who gave me that precept as I'm talking to y'all, right? Ooh, all praises. What does that mean? The Father, don't get in his way. Don't get in the way of his work. He is allowing these nations to bring forth these books and lay them before the feet of Zion. Hear me? So we're using this scholarship to prove this is not us just saying something, but the nations know this, right? So when I go to the Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia, that says in this encyclopedia that our people, so-called Yoruba, so-called Igbo people, have so many of so-called Northern Kingdom Israelites that make up their demographic. Now, it looks like that froze up. Esau kind of froze up. Let me pull it back up. So, in that Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia, family, you will see in here that they say that the Igbo have so many different Northern Kingdom Israelite tribes that make them up. They have Manasseh, Gad, through his 8th son, Eri, Manasseh, Zebulun, Issachar. All of them are said to make up the Igbo people. Not just them, but the Ephraimite royal family is said to reside among the Yoruba. Now, y'all have heard on the channel me reference the honorable professor and anthropologist Derek Lang. Derek Lang also talks about the origin of the Yoruba, which set the stage for why these children of Ephraim from Al-Andalus came among the Yoruba, because the Yoruba were founded by Israelites. They have a king's list and they have a Torah scroll burned in impeachment. Their king's list mentions Pishak, Hosi, and they have all these Northern Kingdom Israelite kings in their king's list. They also have a break, and I can show y'all that article by Derek Lang if y'all want me to go into more detail. Let me Google that. I might can pull that up for you guys. Let's see, Derek Lang. All right, all praises to the Most High, y'all, for that thing, family. Now, this is by the anthropologist Derek Lang. He's done so many different UNESCO articles. He's teamed up with Kulanu, which is an organization by Harvard professors Dr. Tudor Parfit, Edith Bruder, an Oxford protege of Dr. Tudor Parfit, as well as Cambridge verified authors as well. He has been in the midst of these type of people. These are primary sources. He has been to Nigeria over 15 times, family. When I give y'all this information, this is scholarship. This is not me just saying something and throwing it and making it stick. I have more than 2, 3, 4, 5 witnesses that are Harvard, Cambridge anthropologists that verify who our people are as Israel. Now, this is his article, The Origin of the Yoruba and the Lost Tribes of Israel. He goes into great detail on the etymology of Yoruba, which Samuel Johnson actually penned, which actually goes back to King Jeroboam. We know this is not an ancient term for the Yoruba people. I repeat, this is a modern name by their people, accounting their oral tradition and history. You might see Yoruba as an older form, or you might see, before you see Yoruba or Yoruba, you might see the Oyo, the ancient Oyo Empire, right? But when you trace their king's list, their oral tradition, they claim, as you're going to see in his abstract, immigration from the so-called Near East, Northeast Africa. That's where they claim to come from. The Yoruba people have the highest rate of circumcision in the world today. Ephraim, the surname, is most common in Nigeria. But that's just not limited to the Yoruba Ephraimites, but the Igbo Northern Kingdom Ephraimite tribes as well. So Derek Lang goes into great detail. And not just him, but y'all have seen me talk about Derek Lang. I mean, not Derek Lang, but Dr. Tudor Parfit, who also is a Harvard scholar, right? Dr. Tudor Parfit is a Harvard professor scholar. And I showed y'all his book. Let's see. All right. So you guys have seen me go into this book, The Black Jews of Africa and the Americas. Y'all can get that off Amazon by Dr. Tudor Parfit. Edith Bruder's Black Jews of Africa as well. And I'm going through this just to establish, when we get to the 2 sticks, we're going to connect this with the Moorish history, family, right? So I just want you guys to kind of be able to follow and kind of get the basic position that we're claiming. Now, our oral tradition, the Yoruba oral tradition, the Igbo oral tradition, I just showed y'all through more than 2 or 3 sources, the Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia, right? I got to hammer this home because some people think that we just kind of making this stuff up, right? There's so many different scholars, family. I haven't even showed y'all this oral tradition verified by Cambridge. But let's go back to the oral tradition just so I can follow it with you guys. Now, the Iberian are Spanish, Portuguese, Sephardic Israelites of Yoruba nationality. These children of Ephraim from Nigeria live among the rest of their Ephraimite family, the Yoruba people. Their oral history tells that the B'nai Ephraim people came from Morocco, so that means that the sub-Saharan Negro type is linked to the ancient dwellers of Morocco, the Maghreb region, the ancient so-called Berber, right? The ancient Amazigh people were our people, the so-called West African Negroes today. They try to say the sub-Saharan Negro type just showed up sub-Saharan Africa. No, they migrated there from Morocco after the Sephardic Israelites from Iberia were banished from the Iberian Peninsula by the Christians sometime after 1492 due to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Now, this is the language that they speak. Daraji are Moroccan Arabic, Yoruba, and Aramaic, the language Yeshua spoke, right? They are known by the Yoruba people as Imo Yokwayim, are strange people, right? Not because these other African Israelite groups are not Israelites, but these are strange people that recently migrated along with their other people. Now that gets very complicated, family. Let me show y'all something. Sometimes we look at religion and we get confused about who a people are. That can get very sketchy. Let me explain why. Some Nigerians say that the Hausa are different from the Yoruba and the Igbo. All of this was colonists trying to divide the people. You can't use religion to define an ethnicity. Israelites were practicing Islam way before Christians, way at the advent of Islam. These were Kanukai, or Israelite people of Arabia, of North Africa, Amazigh, El Kahina. These type of Israelite people were the ones that were keeping Islam. Understand? A lot of them were not willingly choosing it. They were forced to, because a lot of our people that originally came to Saudi Arabia that started indulging in Islam, they were making their other family members have to keep that faith, right? Or they were killing them. Muhammad was killing Negroes, right? So our people have always been in this struggle because of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. We've been a wandering people where we've been taken advantage of by other people, family. So you can't use the fact that Negroes are practicing Islam to say they're not Israelites. Islam is the religious act of submission to the Most High Yah. It's not about the ethnicity. A person can be an atheist and be an Israelite ethnically. They can be a Christian, as a lot of our people are. They can be an Israelite, self-identifying, keeping Torah. Or they can practice Islam, because when you look at the history, it was our people, the so-called black man, so-called Negro Israelites, that were keeping Islam. Now let's watch this. Or that were practicing Muslims. Now, so we see in the oral tradition that they are called Imo Yokwayim. They are unlike other African Israelite communities, because there are a lot of them in Nigeria, because the Beni Ephraim of the Yoruba have the Torah scroll. They have a copy of it. Now, a lot of y'all say, well, JB, how did you make that connection between that specific group among Nigerian Yoruba people? This is how. I've done my DNA. Y'all see it matched with the Igbo. The Igbo are already verified by the Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia as being descendants of ancient Shemitic migrations into that region. Now, when you look at a DNA company like My True Ancestry, they can test your DNA not just on people that are alive today, but people through various time periods. Now check this out. I did mine and linked with the Yoruba. It linked with Al-Andalus. Now watch this now. Al-Andalus is Iberia. Now if y'all don't believe that, let me pull this up. Now, Al-Andalus, known as Muslim Iberia when the Moors ruled, right? This is today's Portugal and Spain. Now, where have we seen Iberia and Yoruba? I just showed y'all the oral tradition that Iberian Jews, watch this now, they know who we are, family. When you break this stuff down, you're like, the pieces are coming together. Now, when you do your My True Ancestry, mine, Yoruba, Al-Andalus are Spain, are Iberian Moorish Spain. And they also got Moor on here, right? Now, let me go through this. These are my closest links, the ones that are toward the top. Now, when you look at that breakdown, a lot of y'all will be like, I don't know what that means. It means you are a Yoruba person that was found in Spain, right? That was a Moor. Where does that history come from? The B'nai Ephraim people that migrated from Morocco. They were Moors, they were Ephraimites that ruled Iberia. They had to leave when the Christians came to power. So, y'all, I just went through this just to set the groundwork for our people so you can understand that we are Israelites. most of us are Ephraimites, are under the 10 so-called lost tribes. And you can verify that using your DNA and using the oral tradition, which is verified by Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, the Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia, Cambridge authors on JSTOR, Ulysses Santa Maria, and all that stuff. Now, who else accounts this history? Now, when you look at the Moors organization, they have this same history. Now look at this. This is Kingdom Ministries International, Moorish Hebrew tribe of Ephraim, and he goes through the migration of Ephraim through Africa and through the Americas. Now y'all seen this. He talks about the fall of the fall of the northern kingdom in 722 BC. He talks about these Moorish Ephraimites of the house of Joseph that fled to Arabia. This is where they set the groundwork for the Moors. He talks about Prophet Muhammad dealing with these Israelite tribes. I know I'm skimming it kind of quick, family, but I want to get to the Native American connection, right? So many of these Moorish Ephraimites moved westward to Morocco. That's the Yoruba oral tradition, right? And you see that the continent of Africa, the land of Afri, was named after Ephraim. That's where the Romans said Africa. The people of Afri are the Ephraimites, right? That gave them resistance. El Kahina, they fought against these Romans and these Arabs that try to come into their country, right? Now, it talks about Abraham Ha'afrati. Ephrati is H673, the same word used for David in 1 Samuel 17 verse 12. And y'all check out David being an Ephraimite, an African. Y'all check that research out on my other videos, right? Abraham Ha'afrati was the first Ephraimite king of Wifran. Wifran is verified by the Jewish Virtual Library. Let me pull that up. As being the first settlement of Jews in Africa. According to Judaic tradition, Wifran is regarded as the first site of Jewish settlement in Morocco. So the oral tradition of the Yoruba is verified again by the Jewish Virtual Library that talks about these Ephraimites of Morocco, where the Yoruba say they migrated from, and where the Moors say that they were at, by Abraham Ha'afrati. So this is multiple sources. This is more than where 2 or 3 witnesses are gathered. This is buku sources, family. Now watch this. So it goes into the Balfour that they were called. It goes into Abu Bakr the second, the brother of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa, the richest man in history. And this emperor of Mali set a fleet across the Atlantic, and thus began the settlement of the house of Joseph and the Americans. The Moors that were there are there before Christopher Columbus. Now I'm gonna show y'all a video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show y'all a video that's gonna go into that history. Then we're gonna look at not just that, but we're gonna look at our Moorish brother. He's gonna go into that history as well. All right, family, I'm gonna show y'all this clip of this beautiful video I saw on YouTube, where they're gonna go through some of that history in an easy way for you guys to understand about those Moors, those African Muslims, those Ephraimites that reached the Americas before Christopher Columbus. Let's check that out.
Of Mansa Musa, one of the richest men to have ever lived, the king of Mali who lined his path to Mecca with gold and put his kingdom on the map, literally. But have you heard about the one who made him king? Before Mansa Musa, there was Mansa Abu Bakr II. He was...
Now watch this, family. Now Abu Bakr II. Now watch this. Now I didn't want, before she goes too deep in it, we're gonna go back to that article I showed y'all, where it goes into more detail. Now watch this. So we saw in this article by the Moorish organization, right, that it talks about in 1311, Abu Bakr II, emperor of Mali, went, and the house of Joseph went to the Americas, right? So a lot of y'all are like, where are they getting this information from? Y'all, this is scholarship that the Most High, the Creator himself, was given to these Moorish brothers. Now watch this. Now let's go back to the video. Mansa Musa, also, I'm going to put up a map on the screen. This is by John Ogilvy, the official map maker during the time of the transatlantic. In his atlas, right, of Africa being the region discovered, that book is about $1,100 on Abe's bookstore, by the way. I'm going to put that map up that I have from that atlas, where it shows the Beni Musa. The Beni Musa are said to be the sons of Moses that were in that Moroccan region. Mansa Musa and his brother Abubakar, Mansa Abubakar, these were related to that Musa family. Now let's pull this back up.
Mansa Musa's brother and king of the Mali Empire. So how did Musa become king? On his legendary journey from Mali to Mecca, Mansa Musa crossed paths with Damascene historian Shihab al-Umari and told him how. The monarch who preceded me would not believe that it was impossible to discover the limits of the neighboring sea. He wished to know. He persisted in his plan. Mansa Abu Bakr II was an avid traveller and had roamed all around his vast empire before yearning to discover what lay beyond the Atlantic. So he called on engineers of the Lake Chad to build ships so he could launch a fleet across the ocean. He hired a crew of sailors, traders, builders, artists, warriors, and learned men, and supplied them with enough rations to last 2 years. He told them not to return until they reached the end of the ocean or until they had run out of food and water. But after a lone captain and only one of the ships from the 200 he had sent returned to Mali, claiming that the other ships had been pulled into a current and disappeared, Mansa Abu Bakr II began to prepare a fleet once more. But this time, the brave and adventurous king decided to make the journey himself in 1311, almost 200 years before Columbus set foot on American shores. Just as Mansa Musa's journey to Hajj was legendary, so was his brother's journey across the Atlantic. A great leader, Mansa Abu Bakr II travelled with his men on 1,000 ships and sent a further 1,000 ships with supplies, trade materials.
Y'all watch this now. I'm telling you. I gotta see y'all for this one. I'm telling y'all what those Moors had, what the Honorable Noble Drew Ali was able to give those Moors. I don't know how he got that stuff. Only the Most High could have gave him that information, because you see that I'm able to tap into that information because I can do my true ancestry. It can show me that I'm a Yoruba Moor. It can prove it. You can do your test, right? But in the 1910s and 1920, how in the world were they coming into this knowledge? It even has it right down to the exact number of the vessel, what's the word I'm looking for? The fleet, right? The exact number of the fleet, it even talked about in the article that I showed y'all with Abubakar II. Now let's go back down. It says the Emperor of Mali set sail across the Atlantic with a 1,000 vessel fleet, and thus began the settlement of the house of Joseph, right? Now they ain't gonna put all that part in the video. Well, they might do it, but they're not going to link that. Our people, we are the Moors. A lot of people, our people don't know that history, that Moorish history is African history, right? It's Negro history of the continent of Africa, as well as the Americas being settled by that people. There are pyramids and all kinds of things we're going to talk about that are in the Americas that predate even the ones in Africa, because that people came over way back in antiquity. Now, let's finish out this one.
Crops and animals, and of course gold, which was abundant in his kingdom. So did Mansa Abu Bakr II arrive in the Americas? We may never know, but there are many signs that West African Muslims did. Some of the...
Now watch this now. Now they're going to try to tease it like, well, we don't really know what happened. Watch this. Mansa Musa. Y'all keep in mind, Musa is Moses in Arabic. Mansa Musa, the Beni Musa were sons of Moses. So these were Northern Kingdom Israelites. Watch this now. These were Israelites that were known as Moors that had been traveling before Christopher Columbus and settled the Americas before Christopher Columbus. The Israelites had been already spread like a coat of many colors before Esau and the European nations, family. This is our history. African Israelite Judeo history, right? Ephraimite history. And a lot of y'all, I need y'all to really get that. We are Israelites, family. When I say the term Moor, this is the title, right? Because that's a national term. It's not specific to one group of people or in one country. Not just Morocco, but you had West African Moors. You had a lot of Moors that were in Al-Andalus, Moors that were in the Americas when you look at Mormon and Morani. And I'm going to show y'all that proof of that. A lot of y'all like, there's no connection. Mormon is, I believe, Dutch for Moor. So when you look at the house of Joseph through Nephi, Lehi's family, that were named Mormon or Morani, right? Those were Moorish names that these natives had in the Americas before Europeans. And the Europeans called them Native Americans. Wait a second. The Native Americans are Moors? The Moors are Israelites? That's the connection between your Dane Calloway. That's your connection between we're the natives. That's the connection between the African history. It all comes together through Ephraim, Israelite history. Now let's finish this one out because I got a lot I want to share with you guys. And I want to make that announcement.
The strongest evidence comes from the pen of Columbus himself, who wrote in his journal that Native Americans confirmed black-skinned people had come from the southeast in boats, trading in gold-tipped spears.
Now y'all listen to this, now pay attention.
Not only were these spearheads described as guanine by Native Americans, which was the Mandinkan word for gold, the language of the Mali Empire, but chemical analysis of those spearheads found that the gold most likely originated from West Africa.
West Africa, the Negro land, Lam, right? The Mali, the Sankau empires. This area that they're showing you on the map is where Negroes were that migrated from Morocco and came to West Africa when these Israelites were banished out of Spain. Before that, they ruled Spain. The Moors ruled Spain from 711 CE to 1492 when they were banished. But when you hear West Africa, these are Negroes. This is Nigeria. This is Mali. These are these ancient West African kingdoms that existed, family. This is your history.
Columbus and his son also found that Native Americans had handkerchiefs like those used in West Africa.
Oh, why do Native Americans got handkerchiefs that are West African? I'm telling y'all, these were African people. And when I say African, Afri, Ephraimite, Israelite people. The natives were Israelite Ephraimites, right? From Africa, from the region where Ephraim, the Ephraimite Moors ruled. Now let's watch this.
And clothes similar to the Muslim Moors of Spain. Whether or not Mansa Abu Bakr II himself made it to the lands beyond the Atlantic, we cannot deny that this courageous ruler of one of the richest and largest empires on earth gave up wealth and power in pursuit of knowledge and discovery. His determination to reach the Americas could very well mean that West Africa's relationship with the Americas did not begin with slavery.
Oh! Boy, y'all better wait. West African. So, oh man, that was powerful the way she said that. West African relations with the America didn't start in the transatlantic. Our people were already here. Oh man. You had West African Israelite Moors that were already here. So when you hear Dan Calloway dropping that heavy knowledge, and I think the Most High for that, brother, keep doing that work, brother. When you hear him going into that history, you can't deny it. Our people was already here, y'all. I'm not saying our people weren't in Africa, right? But it was a lot of them that were already in the Americas, and I argue the bulk of those that were put in slavery were the ones that were in the Americas. How do I know that? Because these continents, Amexum, the Americas, were founded by Moorish families. So whereas in Africa you had a lot of different people and you had our people that were ruling, the Americas was strictly founded by those Moors, right? So that being the case, they populated and became the numerous people. That's why you never see pictures of Native Americans picking and working in the fields as indentured servants. Because Negro, that's you. The pictures they show of our people, we were that people. Jedi mind trick. They've been lying to us the whole time, family. And we ain't even touched the Book of Mormon yet. I got scriptures where they talk about they black skin. I got scriptures that talk about Christopher Columbus coming over here and the great European empire of Satan. White folks didn't write the Book of Mormon, y'all. I'm telling you, Mormonism is different. Oh man. So let me go back. We gotta listen to that again, y'all. We got to hear that again.
Or not Mansa Abu Bakr II himself made it to the lands beyond the Atlantic, we cannot deny that this courageous ruler of one of the richest and largest empires on earth gave up wealth and power in pursuit of knowledge and discovery. His determination to reach the Americas could very well mean that West Africa's relationship with the Americas did not begin with slavery, but with sailors, explorers, and kings.
Oh man, let me repeat that in case the people in the back didn't hear that. So she said that the history of West African relations with the Americas did not begin with slavery, but began with sea traders, began with kings and travelers and explorers. That's who our people were. The word blackjack is talking about Negroes that were sea bearers. How do I know that? I know a lot of y'all saying, oh, he just tried to see if this one stick. Let me show y'all something. The first autobiography by a black person, we gonna deal with it, baby. An Igbo brother that you might know as Gustavus Vasas or Olaudah Equiano. Olaudah Equiano, in this book, the first autobiography by a black person, not only does he say that his people have Israelite customs, that's the one check, he also gained his freedom as a blackjack or a sea sailor. Now how did he know how to do that? Nobody asked that question. He was a young boy when he was taken into slavery. How did he gain his freedom by knowing that trade? It's because our people had a history of that. Our people were voyagers. Just like Moana, we were voyagers. Our people were voyagers, seafarers, right? We see Mansa Musa, we see his brother, and we can go all the way back to Nephi and Lehi and that family. Our people have been doing that for hundreds and thousands of years. That's why you had that African or Moorish presence in the Americas. These are Israelites, right? That dominated the continent of what we know as Africa. Africa named after Ephraim, the northern kingdom Israelite. So when I say Africa, what they don't tell you, the continent, every time you say Africa, you're talking about the children of Ephraim. Every time you say, so these Ephraimite Moors that I already showed y'all on the website, right? I showed y'all. Ephraimite Moors was the specific ethnic name for the Moors. Moor is a national unification of these Ephraimites by ethnicity. The Arabian ones, the ones from Spain, the ones from Morocco and West Africa, and the ones like Nephi in the Americas. Y'all, I'm giving y'all dimes, right? All praise to the Most High. Now, next I'm going to show y'all a Moorish brother, a PhD, going into this history, family. We're going to read, and there's so many videos I want to share that he went into this stuff. And I'm going to do it on next lessons. I'm going to deal with one of his lectures, because it's just so many profound lectures he puts out. But we're going to listen to this one where he goes into the Native American Moorish connection before Christopher Columbus. Let's check this out.
The quote with William Penn is basically saying that some of the Indian peoples he met reminded him of the Jews of London. And he
Whoa. Out the gate, I'm like, wait, what? I'm gonna keep the screen like this because I might pause a couple more times. We are those native Moors that were in Africa and in the Americas. That's why they call Negroes, which is a Spanish term going back to when the Spains kicked us out. Negro is Spanish. African American. That's why they call you African American. You are a conglomeration of these two continents, which is really one people going back to Morocco, right? You are a conglomeration between the Moors in Africa, the Moors in America. That's why they call you African American, because you are Moors. More specifically, that are Ephraimites, right? Ephraimite Moors, children of Israel that galvanized under the title of Moors and ruled the earth. And of them is your Mansa Musa, your Mali Empire, your Songhai Dynasty, right? All of this were Negro Israelites, specifically Northern Kingdom Ephraimites, that ruled the earth. That's why they call you African American. And that's why there's a connection between the Native American culture and the Sephardic Israelites, right? From Spain, those Moors.
Talking about Sephardic Jews. So he's saying these people resembled them in appearance, but also there were aspects of their customs that reminded them as well. In terms of, time by moons, circumcision, right? That's not something everybody, people say, do easily. That's
Whoa. The Native Americans were circumcised? Circumcision? They had a lunar calendar? Let me rewind this because I think y'all might have missed that. Let's go through this.
The quote with William Penn is basically saying that some of the Indian peoples he met reminded him of the Jews of London. And he's talking about Sephardic Jews.
Spanish.
So he's saying these people resembled them in appearance, but also there were aspects of their customs that reminded them as well.
Let me comment. A lot of y'all bash these camps. I don't agree with the 12 tribes chart. But when they say blacks, natives, and Latin Americans, now let's break down these components that these Israelite camps are trying to teach our people. Blacks, Negroes, which is a Spanish term. Native American Moors of Spain. And the Latino people. The Latin people. Blacks, natives, and Latin Americans. Latin, Latino, Brazilian Sephardics. They say the first settlement of these Moorish Sephardic Israelites was in Brazil. I have a grandmother that can trace that back to Felsen Brazil, Arbaço, right? And they claim to be the Black Portuguese. I got a grandma. I got a genealogical table where I can prove that statement. This is my dad's mother's lineage. My dad's father's lineage goes back to Yoruba. Now, how did that Yoruba man marry these people? Right? Now, y'all gotta check this. They were the same people, family. And when you look at that lineage, you're also going to see Cherokee, Choctaw blood as well. What's the connection? They were all Moors that had been traveling back and forth from that. They had established that trade route way before the Europeans. You had Moors going back and forth between the Americas and Africa, where they came from. Now let's continue to listen to this brother. PhD in history. Now watch this.
In terms of, time by moons, circumcision, right? That's not something everybody, people say, do easily. That's a very unusual practice, per se, that we know has its roots primarily and probably in what's often called sub-Saharan Africa, and probably in the area of Nubia or Somalia, and then that practice goes north into Khemit, and then it will spread into areas of Asia, and then of course we know it primarily in the...
Now pay attention, family. He says circumcision, which had its highest prevalence in West Africa. What is West Africa? Negro land, family. To this day, the Igbo, the Yoruba, these West African Negroes that we come from have the highest rate of circumcision. We are the ancient Israelites. I did not say Jew. I said ancient Israelites. Before the 1948 people were our people, the ancient Israelites. Now let's listen.
Next of the Hebrew practice, right? Where then, Abraham or Ibrahim is instructed to circumcise his male children, and all descendants will do that who are male, thereafter. So things like that, which were getting people's attention and going, well, that's a rather odd practice, right? William Penn is known as he's considered the primary founder of what is the colony of Pennsylvania, which then becomes, of course, the state of Pennsylvania. He comes to the Americas in the early part of the 18th century, when the Americas, as far as the Europeans are concerned, are primarily under British control, certainly in the north. The Spanish are controlling the southern portions of the Americas, and the British are controlling the northernmost portions. In a 1623 text by Robert Harcourt, who was an Englishman, he reports on the friendly Indians of Moronia, which was a province of Guyana, or Guyana.
Whoa, the friendly natives of Moronia? Where have we heard about Moroni? The Book of Mormon. I'm telling y'all, the Stick of Ephraim is Moorish history, just in a nutshell. The Stick of Ephraim is Moorish Ephraimite history, family. The Mormon plates, the plates of Nephi, when you look at the sealed portion, you pull that up. All of this is Ephrati, and all my Moorish brothers know what I mean when I say Ephrati. They know Ephrati. Ephrati is the oldest family in Morocco. They claim to be from the tribe of Ephraim. Ain't that the old tradition of the Yoruba that they came from Morocco? Ain't that verified by Cambridge and Harvard and Ulysses Santa Maria and the Jewish Diaspora Encyclopedia and the Jewish Virtual Library that talks about the first settlement of these Ephraimites in Morocco? Y'all, it's too many sources. I couldn't even name all of them, family. So wait a second. These Ephraimites say they come from Morocco. Moroccans, Ephrati, they were Moors. The Book of Mormon, Nephi's lineage, and I showed y'all Lehi's lineage in the Book of Mormon, or no, not in the Book of Mormon, I'm sorry. And the sealed portion that goes into his lineage, right? Because it's not going into detail on the other plates. You got to put all the pieces together. In the sealed portion, in the abridged version of the Book of Lehi, he traces his lineage to Jeshurun, a high priest, and it goes through that lineage going back to Ephraim. So the Mormons say they're Ephraim. They say they're Moors, Morani, Mormon. The Yoruba say they're Ephraim, from Morocco, Moors. The Moors say Ephrati, the oldest family in Morocco. It's Joseph. Joseph is the father of Ephraim. Joseph that was sold into slavery. His son Ephraim was the ruler of the 10 lost tribes. That's why they say they don't know where they at. They know the 10 lost tribes are the Moors, the so-called African Negroes today, that were in the Americas and that were also in Africa, and Morocco owned a Mexam as well. That's why the oldest treaty in world history and in American history is the United States and Moroccan Treaty of 1776. Y'all, all these pieces come together because Morocco owned the soil before America and thus was the first country to recognize, i.e. allow Americans to operate on Moroccan or Moorish soil. That's why the Mormon church know about the Mormons. They know about Morani as being the natives from Ephraim that were Moors. Now, I hope y'all are taking notes on this stuff. Now, let me go back a little bit so y'all can catch that.
And the British are controlling the northernmost portions. In a 1623 text by Robert Harcourt, who was an Englishman, he reports on the friendly Indians of Moronia, which was a province of Guyana.
Let me go back one more time.
Moronia was an Englishman. He reports on the friendly Indians of Moronia.
The friendly Indians of Moronia. This connects with this sticker. Now we're gonna go into the Book of Mormon because I could go through this history, y'all, and I know it's a lot. I try to keep it. I know it's a lot of y'all that's like, come on, JB, but I'm gonna space it out. I'm gonna let y'all breathe, write some of these notes down. But first, let me go to the Light and Truth real quick. I gotta go to Light and Truth for y'all. I got to deal with it. Light and Truth is a book from the 1800s that goes into legendary history on the word Negro and its connection to the word Moor. Let me go to 339 real quick. Of Light and Truth, y'all can find that on Amazon. All right, the word Negro. Now, let me pull this up. Let me try to maximize my screen so you guys can see. Now the word Negro is derived from the Latin term Niger. So Negro and Niger are the same, like Nigeria, the people of Niger. Right, the early century church in Acts chapter 13 will call it the same Niger word. Moor, a marsh, a fin, a Negro. Negro and Moor is the same word. I'm giving y'all history back. You see Negro, black or Moor. But what you may not know, some of y'all think the Moors and the Israelites are different. Let me turn to the next page in 340. Let me show y'all something. Let's see, is that 340? Let me move this over. All right. Now, Mangroon is one that's 100% Negro. Sambo is 3/4, like a so-called mixed person, like if, what's his name? Marcus Rogers got with a 100% Negro woman and had a kid. That's a Sambo. Mulatto is half, like Marcus Rogers. Quadroon is 1/4. This is when you start mixing European blood, but this goes into that history. Now, let's go down to where it says Micah. Micah the Moorshite, a prophet of the Moors. Wait, Micah? That's Micah of the Judeo scriptures. He's a prophet of the Moors. Israelites were called Moors. Prophesied in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah, and spoke to all the people of Judah, parentheses, the Moors, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, that's Sabaoth Yah, Sabaoth Yahuwah, Zion shall be plowed like a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps. Wait a second. It said he prophesied to the people of Judah. They were Moors. The Israelites were known as the black unto the ground. You can look at that in Lamentations 4:8. You can look at that in Lamentations 5:10. Jeremiah 14:2. It's too many scriptures that describe them. These dark-skinned people were the ancient Israelites. You also had a lot of these Israelites or Ephraimites that were within Judea. We see that through Nephi or Lehi said that he was a part of the priest in Judea, but he was of the house of Joseph. Ephraimites or Israelites were called Moors, family, and that's Light and Truth. Now we're going to go to the Book of Mormon because I want to share some of these precepts before I close this lesson out, family. I hope y'all been taking notes. But first, we're going to go to the seal portion, chapter 31, and I'm going to go through this for people that haven't seen this. Some of y'all think the Book of Mormon is by Europeans. This is them coming to the Moorish territory of the Americas and finding the records of these native Moors. Now let's read this. And now it is convenient at this point in my abridgment that I introduce the next great nation that arose after the Greeks. This great nation is the Roman Empire. So this lets you know this is not Europeans talking about this, right? Because he doesn't paint them in a good way. Now, how do I know that? Now, let's scroll down. In verse 3, but from its wounds would rise up another great nation that shall come to pass. And this nation shall be known as the great European empire after the Romans. And from that great empire, Satan shall make his final stand against the saints, the children of Israel, of Elohim. Now, why would white folks write that Satan is using this European nation against the Most High's people? Now, watch this now. The Book of Mormon belongs to our people. This is our records. Now, let's go down to verse 17. And this last nation shall be the seat of Satan, where he shall sit and rule and reign throughout the earth. Y'all, this is just like how they whitewashed the Judeo scriptures. The Ephraimite scriptures of the Moors, they did the same thing, but this is our history, right? Now let's scroll down some more. I got some more to give y'all. Now let's go down to verse 57. Verse 57 says, and now I would that you should understand the words of John in the book of Revelation, pertaining to these great nations of which I have spoken. Now let's go down. And John wrote of the Roman Empire, saying, I stood on the sand of the sea and saw a beast come out the sea. This is talking about that new Roman Empire, that great European empire led by Great Britain at this time, right? So first you had Babylon, then you had the Medes and the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, right? Then you have the new Roman Empire. Then you have the great European empire, right? You have the great European empire or Great Britain. Let me go back through that for y'all in case y'all missed it. Let's see. So you have Babylon, right, during the time of Nebuchadnezzar, the Medes and the Persians during the time of Cyrus, the Greeks during the time of Alexander the Great. Then you have the Romans during the time of the Caesarian dynasty, the Caesars. Then you have the great European empire led by Great Britain, which is the seventh beast. And that beast that suffered a wound, but another came out of it. This is talking about America being that eighth beast, right? That nation that Satan would use, set up his great church and rule for a season and war against the Most High's people, the children of Israel, the Ephraimites in America, war against them. This is the 10 toes of the statue of Daniel. I know this is a lot, family. Y'all take notes, and I'm going to review this on every lesson. But basically, this is the seal portion, chapter 31, going into that history. Now, let me show y'all some more precepts. Now, in the seal portion, chapter 79, we're going to read this. And that shall come to pass among the nations of this great European empire, which shall be formed from other nations and kingdoms of the earth, that a group of people who shall travel across the great oceans and establish themselves in the land of my fathers. Now, who is speaking right here? This is the Book of Mormon, Mormon being a descendant of Moroni, Moroni being a descendant of Nephi. Nephi is writing, his father is talking about Lehi's family. So he's saying that this land of America belonged to Lehi. Now, who is Lehi and what is his lineage? Now let me pull this up. I didn't have this scripture up initially, but I'm going to pull this up for you guys. I'm going to go to the abridged verse way at the very end of the seal portion. Almost like they had it tucked away. Let me go to that part, the book of Lehi. Now, the book of Lehi. Now, watch this. I had to go way down here to find this. This was originally lost, or they call it the lost book of the Book of Mormon, of the plates of Nephi. But there isn't a brief segment from it that Nephi did maintain that he put in his letters, right? That was maintained. He didn't rewrite the whole book of Lehi, but he did preserve a certain element of it. Now, I thought it was going to start it. It's just giving a prefix to it. Now, here we go. The book of Lehi. This is a secret segment from those plates that was maintained. The rest of that plate was so-called lost. It's because it has a secret in it, family. Now, watch this. Now, Lehi's lineage. And Lehi was the son of Jeshurun, the high priest among the Jews. He was among the Jews. He was not a Jew. He was an Ephraimite. Now, I'm going to prove that he lived in Jerusalem, but he was not Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Now, let's go down. Now, it says, and Jeshurun was the son of Imrish, and it goes through this person was the son of this person was the son of this person. It goes kind of long, so we're going to go to verse 11. And Sarash was the son of Judah, not Judah, the 12 tribe Judah. This was just another Israelite named Judah. This is how we know. Who was the son of Ephraim, who was the son of Joseph. And it's going to tell you who this Joseph is. And it was this same Joseph who was sold into Egypt by his brothers, the sons of Israel. So you had 12 sons of Israel. 11 of them, well really 10 because Benjamin was a baby. 11 of them sold this Joseph into a pit. That's the story of Joseph in the pit, the coat of many colors. Lehi's family descends from Ephraim, who was the son of that Joseph. Now let's go back to the sealed portion. So when you see that Nephi says that the Europeans are coming to the land of his fathers, he's talking about Ephraim. He's talking about Ephrati. He's talking about the Americas belong to the Ephraimite Moors, the Moor men, the Moronian natives. That's who the Europeans were taking this land from. Y'all, I'm giving you secrets that have been hidden from the foundation of the rule of this nation. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. I hope y'all taking good notes. These are mysteries that they do not want our people to get. And I give all glory to the Most High Yah. Let's keep reading. And there shall also be the rich among them, who shall become rich from the land and the wealth of the land, and the things that they shall take from the land of my fathers, the Ephraimites. Family, this land belongs to Ephraim. If you are Yoruba or an Igbo African Ephraimite, Moor, this land belongs to you just like Africa. Let's keep reading. For behold, the Lamanites shall be upon the land. These are descendants of Nephi, our Lehi's family, Ephraimites. So that remnant will still be here when it is discovered by this great European nations in the end of days. Right? Now let's go down some. Let's go to verse 8. And the Lamanites shall begin to dwindle when they start waging war against our people in numbers, and lose their nations, the Americas, and their lands, the Americas, to the effect of the lust of the greed of the abominable church. So he's telling you these Europeans would use the church to do all this evil. That's why people didn't call ourselves Jews or Christians. We were Israelites, but we knew the church was set on fire by hell itself. I know a lot of y'all like, what, there's a difference? Yes. Between the church of today with Easter bunnies and bunnies laying eggs and Christmas trees, there's a difference between that, right? And Israel and the scriptures as it is written, as Yeshua practiced, right? Circumcision and not eating pork and growing your beard out and having your fringes. There's a difference between the Christian church and Israel, right? And the men who shall destroy the Israelite Ephraimites of Lehi's family shall think that they're doing the Most High's will, because they believe that, now Christ prophesied this, y'all, in Matthew chapter 24. Because they believe that these Israelite Ephraimites and all those who are of a dark skin are cursed of the Most High. Wait a second. So the very children of God, Nephi's telling you the nations are going to go to war against because of their Negro skin. So we know white folks didn't write this. This is our history, family. I ain't done yet. Oh, I ain't done. Oh, no. Let's look at chapter 48. Oh, yeah, it gets better, family. Y'all write these scriptures down. Now, that's in seal portion 84. We're going to go to verse 73. And I'm going to show y'all something. Oh, yeah, they ain't want me to get these records. Now, and now you will believe that this man of whom Nephi hath written, the son of Lehi, is the explorer that shall be known among you as the bearer of Christ. Oh, man. I know that's not what it sounds like, JB. Oh, yeah. There would be an explorer whose name meant the bearer of Christ, that only the children of the Most High could prophesy before it even happened. They knew him by name, just like Judah knew Cyrus before he was born. Nephi is prophesying about a man whose name means a bearer of Christ. What does Christopher mean? Oh, y'all don't want to mess with me. He shall be likened to the final prophet of the last days. But this is not the man, not that prophet, not no good person, that the words of Nephi referred. And this Christopher is not like the final two prophets. So there will be another Christopher prophet, and he's saying, I don't want you to think that this is that prophet. No, this Christopher is going to be an explorer. Now let's read about it. For behold, this explorer shall be sent forth to discover the land of my fathers, of the Ephraimite Moors that was already here, for the sole purpose to get gain for himself and those who shall send him. The Vatican, the Christian church, y'all don't want to mess with me. Spain and Portugal that gave him license to be able to find our people in the Americas and in West Africa. Christopher Columbus is his name, that sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Y'all better hear me. And those who shall send him, the Christian North, Spain, Portugal, the Vatican, even one of the great nations of the Gentiles, that belongs to the great and wicked abominable church. Who wrote this, family? Your forefathers. These your records. White folks didn't write the Book of Mormon. They didn't write the seal portion. They didn't write these plates. They found it and said it was talking about them to hide it from you, just like them so-called Jews that say that Bible does not have nothing to do with you, but it's really your records. Y'all better talk to me. I got some more for y'all. I got some more. Oh yeah. And chapter, well, I'm looking at the time. I got to do the giveaway announcement, y'all. I know I'm going to pick back up. Y'all remind me to pick back up at chapter 85 so we can go through these scriptures, family. But I want to make the announcement about who's getting that cipher, because we're doing this for y'all, family. We love y'all. And I still got to pick back up on this other video by the brother. But now let's deal with the giveaway. Okay. I know that was a lot, family. I know that was a lot. I hope y'all took notes. I'm going to work on that PDF. Also, you can find the sealed portion on Amazon as well. But we're going to announce the winner of the cipher giveaway for this Shabbat. Y'all tune in for next Shabbat's lesson. If you want to have a chance to enter, you got to be subscribed. And you got to simply comment that you want one, right? So the winner of today's Shabbat cipher giveaway is... What's up, family? So I know that seemed like a big suspense thing. I didn't try to do y'all like that. I really didn't, though. I really didn't. What happened was I did the lesson. I was during the day, during my lunch break. During that moment, I'm waiting on Shauna D. I'm like, Shauna D, tally the people up. People are still commenting, right? People are still being in it. So she was still tallying them. So I went back to work, got off work. I'm back in my drip drop. Hebrew Israelite law keepers, you already see, fringed up nicely with the purple fringes, all praises, right? But I'm back in this thing, y'all. So I know that was a long delay, but I'm back, and I know I'm still prolonging it. Like I said, every Shabbat, y'all gotta tune in. Make sure you subscribe, comment that you want one, and we're gonna be announcing these each Shabbat lesson. So that Shabbat lesson is gonna be a big one. All right. So now the winner of this week's free giveaway, free cipher giveaway, is none other than, drum roll please, me brother, Rose of Sharon. All glory, honor, praise to the Most High Yah. Congratulations, Rose of Sharon, for being this Shabbat's winner of the cipher giveaway. How we do this, family, is we tally up every message. When y'all have the message, when y'all message I want the cipher, and we put that in the pot. The thing is, the more times you comment that, and I'm not saying y'all just flood like 50 million comments, but the more you comment on different lessons, or more than once on the lesson that you want to cipher, when we search cipher through the algorithm, it increases your likelihood of being chosen. Shawnee D worked that whole thing out. You know, I ain't that smooth with all that, right? But the more times you comment, the more your name is going to show up, and making it easier. So when we do just a random pick through that list of those that have commented that, it increases your likelihood. So Rose of Sharon, you are this Shabbat's cipher winner, right? All you have to do, sis, is comment. Oh wait, not comment. Email me at imjbzion@gmail.com with your shipping address or wherever you want it to be shipped to, that kind of thing. I'm going to order that and get that to you as soon as possible. It's the Shabbat, so it might be sometime next week when you get it. So y'all stay encouraged. We're going to be doing this every Shabbat, y'all. I'm working on that link. We're still getting my name in the system, getting all my tax information, all that stuff into cipher to be able to get my link and all that stuff. It's a big, long process, y'all. But as soon as that happens, I'm going to get y'all a prorated, discounted price for getting the cipher if you just want to buy it, or if you want to just continue to enter into the contest, or if you have family members, right, that you know need this. You can enter them in. You can use the link however you guys want to, right? So family, congratulations to Rose of Sharon, and y'all, I hope y'all got something out of the lesson. I know it's a lot of history, a lot of scriptures, a lot of plates, a lot of apocrypha, a lot of oral tradition, Cambridge, right? We're going to keep every Shabbat, or not every Shabbat, but every lesson, because this is different from that. Every lesson, I'm going to be going through this history again so you guys can understand it. So family, I'm going to hurry and get this up, because at the time of me getting this up, it's 5 o'clock, and I got to get this thing up for y'all so y'all can see this stuff. So, I love you all with the love of the Messiah. Peace, love, blessings, and Israelite power. Man, I done scared the banner, y'all. Good grief. Nah, I ain't scared of banner. That's Joseph. Y'all already know who that is. Peace, love, blessings, and Israelite power to the 12 tribes scattered. I love you all with the love of the Messiah. Y'all enjoy your Shabbat. I love you all with the love of the Messiah. Be blessed. Shalom. All praises.